So here's part 5 of my story. So I want to talk more about the Alvin show now. So back in 2009, throughout the winter and the spring of 2009, I saw, the episodes of the Alvin show, and I really like the Alvin show. I love the music, the background music they had on the Alvin show. It sounded something like, be our guest, from Beauty and the Beast. They actually had that song back in the 60s that had that similar tune to Be Our Guest, take it to the test, or whatever, So that's one reason why I absolutely love the Alvin show, and it was just a magical time for me watching the Alvin show, and that's how I became even more of a fan of Alvin and the Chipmunks. And of course, I remember, later that summer, unfortunately, they took most of the Alvin show episodes, but, they kept a few, like Dude Ranch, and, there was one about the Dude Ranch where this midget man, his name was Sam Valiant, and he was giving the Chipmunks and Dave a hard time in the hotel at a Dude Ranch, and that was a very good episode too. I think it will, that midget man, Sam Valiant, he appeared in several episodes, and that, I kind of imagined, that it would be like maybe turn into a movie. But, the Alvin show didn't last very long, unfortunately. So anyway, that same summer, I got the channel Boomerang. I finally upgraded my cable and got Boomerang, so, but unfortunately they didn't have Alvin and the Chipmunks or the Alvin show or any Chipmunk show. So, just the Flintstones, mostly Hanna-Barbera content, unfortunately, but, I thought, so anyway, that summer, I really wanted to, find, I still like the Chipettes, and I wanted to find out what the main, I thought maybe one of the Hanna-Barbera cartoons on Boomerang or whatever influenced to add the Chipettes or whatever, and I became a fan of I became a fan of the Smurfs, and they had the Smurfs and the Snorks. At first, I actually thought maybe the Smurfs had something to do with these girls, but that didn't seem to be true. But I even thought at first it was the Alvin show itself had something to do with these girls, but not directly, but they're. I thought maybe because the Chipmunks, they wore slightly different clothes than they did in the 80s series. They wore more dressy clothes, like, well, see, they wore like more dressy clothes, closer to what the Chipettes were wearing, and, I really, okay, I really thought maybe the Chipettes were more based off the 60s versions of the boy Chipmunks. I really actually thought that, because they had more of a personality. The girl Chipmunks, the Chipettes had a closer personality to the 60s Chipmunks, boy Chipmunks, than they did the 80s boy Chipmunks. So, it's just, but, I became a fan of the Power, and, for a little while, I was a fan of the Powerpuff Girls. I mean, obviously, they were probably an influence to the Powerpuff Girls, but, I mean, but still, I love the Chipmunks better, But, the Powerpuff Girls were on Boomerang, I tried for years to get them on TV, and nothing worked, but, they're on TV now with their new series. So, that makes me happy. But, there's the Smurfs. I was a fan of all kinds of different shows, and, I thought, but, back in the 60s, female cartoon characters were a very big minority of characters in TV shows. So, I even thought maybe Scooby-Doo, which actually premiered in 1969, same year as that live-action sitcom with 3 boys and 3 girls, and I'm about to tell you which I think was the main influence to add these 3 girls, and, I thought maybe, like, because Daphne Blake on Scooby-Doo, she looks like Brittany here, and Velma Dinkley sort of looks like Jeanette, but, I'm gonna talk about, but, there was no character, there was no female character on Scooby-Doo that looked like Eleanor, so. So anyway, but, that's part, there weren't a lot of female characters appearing in cartoons around the 50s or the 60s, or, that wasn't, there was even Josie and the Pussycats, Josie, and actually she does kind of look like Melody, but, I don't think it wasn't cartoons that wasn't really the main influence to had these 3 girls. In the next video, I'm gonna show you. I'm a huge fan of this show, and I'm gonna talk about different, episodes, and how it all began for me, and and goals and certain goals that I want to, set for myself. So I'll see everyone in the next video. Thanks.